morning. Hope everyone is having a good day. It's very early for me. I woke up really early. One thing about menopause, when they say that you get insomnia, they are not kidding. Yeah, that and migraines increase. Anyways, I'm not fully awake. So you get the unfiltered, slowly waking up person today. Sorry. But I am recording this as a morning draw or a morning shuffle, whatever you want to call it. This is what I normally do in the morning. I will draw the cards to see what my day is going to be like. I just generally want to know what energies are going through this day. The poop. Oh, what fun. You have been showing up a lot in my stuff. Just so you all know, for those of you all who are just coming or are not familiar with me, I am using the Faeries Oracle deck by Froud with Jessica Macbeth. I have had these for a little while, a couple of years. I am not used to them. I don't have them memorized. There are, how many cards? I used to remember off the top of my head how many cards there were, but I don't right now. I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. 65. So, the poke. Shape changer, good and bad and good, paradox, resolution. Today's energy is going to be a paradoxal. What you think is good has bad overtones. What you think has bad has good underlinings. Or silver linings. There's a silver lining. So I do have to use the book in order to get the meanings that is intended by the creator of this deck. It is not a traditional tarot deck. It is an oracle deck. It's time for the resolution of seeming contradictions and paradoxes in the situation. Someone or some part of the situation is cloaked in confusion and muddled thoughts. Could it have anything to do with morning not being fully awake? Oh, excuse me. Could it have anything to do with me not being fully awake right now? Muddled thoughts. All must be stripped away and reveal the truth. We just need to think about it, and the information we need is available to us. Alternatively, it may be time for us to make a reality check on the good, bad labels we put on things. Make a list of the good, possibly even surprising things about the situation, and another list about the bad ones if you're not in the habit of seeing the good in the bad and the bad in the good. In other words, check the pros and cons, and what may be a situation you think is bad may have more pros to it than you believe, and that you're just not seeing, which may gobsmack you. Goblin, gobsmack, the pook, book, pook. There you go. The pook. Relax, wait, and stay alert. We cannot rush it. In fact, trying to rush it usually only causes us to become more deeply mired in the confusion. Oh, you are going to be telling me it's going to be a fun day. Yay. Oh. What I typically do with my Faeries Oracle is I will bookmark, and then I will come back to it and go back over it several times to make sure I understand it. And it helps reinforce it. I'll write something about it later on this evening to see if I can pinpoint what showed up during the day that highlights that card. It's a good way of learning it. Alright, so this deck I am a lot familiar with. This is the deck that I've had just about as long as the Faeries Oracle, or just a little bit longer than the Faeries Oracle. But this is called the Halloween deck. It is by Stacey Demarco. Isn't that like the most awesome, colorful thing you've ever seen? It's beautiful artwork. I was very surprised that I just absolutely was drawn to it because a lot of the artwork on the deck is computer generated, realistic type kind of photos. Like photos that have been touched up on the computer. I mean, it's very beautiful, don't get me wrong. Some of it is actual artwork, like pencil drawings or colored pencil, and at least that's the look of it. And others look like it is photos that have been superimposed upon other photos through the computer editing. But it's absolutely surprised me that I absolutely had to have this deck. I absolutely loved it. And what is today going to be like? Okay. The Skull of Flowers. Creating through the ashes. The good and the bad, like the phoenix. You're rising through the ashes, making something out of nothing. The paradox, the good and the bad. You think you have nothing, you have resources to draw upon. Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. This is why I love this deck. Now, this I used to do the same as the Faeries Oracle. I used to take the card that I drew, and then I would place it in here and look at it throughout the day. I don't have to do that anymore after, I guess you would call it immersion, or I don't know what you would call it, but I would just like write about it. I was very heavily into trying to memorize that deck. Now we're going to go over to my tarot deck. This deck I don't normally use. I just picked it up because it was next to it. The deck I normally use is smaller. It's the Radiant Tarot. But this was on top. This is what I'll use. This is more of a... Oh. I want that coffee to finish brewing so bad. Oh, and anyways, this is a Shadowscape deck. This is a tarot deck. Sometimes I can use it as a tarot deck. Most times I use it like it's an oracle deck. Only because that's just the way my mind wraps around it. The artwork is just so emotionally triggering. That this is how I use it. This is what I would use for doing any kind of relationship spread, any kind of romance spread. Okay, so 2 fell out. What do we got? See, like this. So it'd be this and this. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Coins. And then we have the Judgment. The artist's interpretation versus traditional meaning. Artist's interpretation is completely different than, well, I wouldn't say completely different. It just has a different take, and my mind just wraps around it differently. What's today going to be like? A lot of potential. Now, coins, here's the thing when I interpret using coins in relationships. When I am focusing on a relationship, the coins don't become finance, they become the wealth of the experience or the enrichment of that person in your life, if that makes sense, or the enrichment or the emotion or the value of that person to your emotional well-being, or to the emotional attachment, benefit to you, to your life, to your stability, that kind of thing. So it becomes the wealth of the experience and the quality they bring to you, not so much the wealth in material. I hope that makes sense. But I look at this is going to be a pissy day. Mainly because, to me, the Nine of Pentacles is right before what I call the family inheritance card. It is like the realization or the completion of realization of all the skills that you have in front of you. It's like somebody who is not an apprentice. They have done everything they are. They are at their peak. So when I take this, the peak of their experience, what they have to bring to the table, they have reached and known everything that there is to know. It's not like they're passing away, so you're reaping the benefits of the persons who have passed away. So their inheritance, you are receiving what they have left behind for you. This is, you are the step before that. So you know what there is to know, and you've been there, you've done that, you've seen things, you've seen shit, you've experienced it. You know what there is to know. People can't pull the wool over your eyes as well. When it comes to emotional, you know, you can hear them playing the chords, the emotional strings being pulled. So, to me, how's this day going to be? And then you add in the Judgment card. Oh, lovely. It's going to be a pissy day. I'm adding in the references from the Fairy Oracle and rising and creating from ashes. So maybe it won't be as bad as I think it will be. So that could be where the paradoxes come in from the poke. And I'm saying poke because P instead of B, and you have P-O-O-K instead of B-O-O-K. You pronounce book, so replace the B with the P, and you have pook. There you go. Alright, so let's look at... Ooh, I know what I forgot. I had the poke. Skull of Flowers. I had 9 of Coins. And Judgment. And I was, even though I looked at it upright when it landed, it was supposed to lay out as if it was reversed. So that's why I was giving a negative connotation to the Judgment card. Even though I was looking at it upright, when I first laid it down, it was reversed. So, reverse Judgment. And let's see what you have for me today. And this is more materialistic. I cannot speak. I want my coffee. I'm going to pause. I'll be right back. I have to get it. I cannot focus. Oh, that's so much better. Would help if I put the microphone back down. Alright, so yes, it has been several minutes. Alright, fine. I had to go get coffee. I was absolutely out of it. I'm probably going to go ahead and redo this morning shuffle because I was so not awake. I know that people have different thoughts about that, thinking, you know, okay, you get your truest reading then. That's a possibility. It also could be saying, hey, yeah, you're not awake. You shouldn't be doing this. You know, you're creating something out of ashes. You're creating out of your ass because you are not awake. Is one possibility. So what will today bring? And I'm not going to do just one card. Not when it comes to doing something that's materialistic. Oh, excuse me. I had to take a sip of coffee. We'll put that over here. So I probably will be redoing this. But partnership, money issues, and self-reliance. We'll go with that.